Welcome to Hey Mom, We Never Prepared for This, the show where we have the tough conversations around aging and caring for a loved one. Whether you're an adult child or an aging parent or anyone caring for a loved one, this podcast is for you. I am your host, Angela Vanderpool, and each episode we dive into actionable tips, heartfelt stories, and expert guidance to support you on your journey. Let's get started. Welcome to the very first episode of Hey Mom, We Never Prepared for This, Unveiling the Vision. I am your host, Angela Vanderpool. I am excited and nervous to start this journey today with all of you. I look forward to unveiling the vision I have for the future of this podcast. I want us to create a space where we can walk together on this journey of exploring the many facets of aging and all that can go along with it, including the hard conversations, but also the beautiful things that can be a part of this chapter of life. I have over 17 years of experience in the senior living industry. And during that time, I've had the privilege of witnessing firsthand all the triumphs and challenges that individuals and families face as they navigate this stage of life. Over my professional career, I have sat with countless family members as they have maneuvered all of the experiences and conversations that they weren't prepared for as they helped their parents or loved ones along this path. During these many conversations, I did my best to listen to their stories, let them know that I see them and I hear them, and I tried to balance knowing when someone needed advice or if they just needed someone to sit with them and be a heart with ears. I have shared as many resources, contacts, and knowledge as possible, but I have always wished I had something more to offer them. Mostly so they would know they were not alone in what they were experiencing. Everyone's situation is different, and all relationships are unique, but the feeling of being overwhelmed and unprepared for all of it felt very universal to me. And my connection to this topic extends beyond my professional experience. Like many of you out there, I am also navigating this journey in my own personal life. I have experienced the complexities, emotions, and questions that arise as we witness our loved ones aging or being diagnosed with a scary disease. About a year and a half ago, my dad died of a very rare neurological disease. It was a progressive brain disease with no known cause or cure. This terrible disease affects areas of the brain that control limb movement, speech, and other movement functions. And I had to watch my dad, the strongest man I ever knew, slowly dissolve away in front of my eyes as each day took away another piece of his independence. I found myself in a similar situation to all those family members I have helped professionally over the years, trying to figure out what to do next. Living situations, caregiving, financial resources, what services are out there? How to give my dad dignity and choice when he could no longer take care of himself. I had to balance when and how to start the conversation about bringing hospice and end-of-life services in, which for my family was one of the best decisions we made in giving my dad the best quality of life while honoring his dignity and choices during a very difficult time. I also had to learn how to make sure my mom was taken care of, as she was the primary caregiver, and it was hard to watch her go through that overwhelming heaviness of taking care of her spouse of over 50 years. This process taught me to lean into compassion, not only for my parents, but also for myself, and learn it was okay to not have all the answers and to ask for help when I needed it. I had to learn to allow my dad to make as many of his own decisions as possible while balancing what I know he needed to keep him safe. And then finally, dealing with the tremendous grief and sadness of losing my dad, one of the most important people in my world. I'm an advanced certified grief recovery specialist. So basically, an expert on grief and loss. But it sure didn't, and still doesn't some days, feel like it, as I learn what it means to live a life without my dad in it. It has now been about 1.5 years since we lost my dad. And the saying goes that time heals all wounds, which I'm learning more and more is truly a myth, because I'm still shocked at how the deep sadness of losing my dad can drop me to my knees at the most unexpected moments. I thought after making it through all of the firsts, like the first Christmas without him, the first Father's Day, my first birthday without my dad, that was really the hardest one for me. For 53 years, he had been one of the first people to sing me happy birthday every year. And it was heartbreaking the moment I realized that call wasn't coming this year. July 17th was a year from my dad's passing, and I truly felt a sense of relief. I made it through all those firsts. It should get easier now. But then, 1 year, 1 week, and 1 day from my dad's passing, I was blindsided with an enormous feeling of sadness and just plain missing him, brought on by a song by Pink about her dad. At first, I tried to hold back the enormous emotions I felt, but then I decided, as I coach everyone else to do, just let those tears flow. This whole experience has taught me greater compassion for myself, and I think makes me actually a better grief recovery specialist, because I have a deeper sense of empathy and compassion and a truer understanding that these emotions can creep in at any time, and usually when you least expect it. And that is normal and natural and a part of the beautiful complexity that is grief and loving someone so deeply. I'm also at that stage in life where my peer group and friends are all experiencing similar challenges with their parents. It seems as if any conversation I have with friends recently includes something about, I wasn't prepared for this. And since this is my professional world, as well as my personal world recently, they keep asking me if I have any advice, resources, or suggestions. And I want to be able to do more for them and everyone else out there around these challenges. I believe my unique combination of experience and personal connection is what is driving me to create this podcast. I want it to provide valuable insights, tools, support, and empowerment. I want it to be a place to come and know you're not alone in what you're going through. A place where you can sit in your jammies, snuggled on your couch, and listen to topics you maybe haven't had the courage to discuss yet, or even think about yet. In each episode of Hey Mom, We Never Prepared for This, we will dive into important topics surrounding aging. We will have interviews with industry leaders. We will share personal stories, and we'll work towards answering the questions our listeners have. Together, we will address the hard, vulnerable, and beautiful topics like, when is it time to sell the family home, which can prove very emotionally difficult when you've been in that home for 20, 30, 40 years? And when it is time to move, how can we help walk beside you in that moment and help you move forward with fond appreciation and memories for what that home gave you? How do we move forward in what the next step and phase of life looks like? And looking at all of the things you can gain from moving into a senior living community versus what you will be giving up. We will also look at how we can open conversations when mom and dad are not on the same page in how they see their future and where and how they want to go through this next stage of life. We will look at how we can best help our parent or loved one when they receive a complicated medical diagnosis or when it's time to give up a driver's license. I know for me personally, that was one of the hardest conversations to bring up with my dad. and I'm in the industry? Or what if my siblings and I disagree on what's best for our parents? Or, like in my situation, how do you deal with the pressures of being an only child and feeling like it's all on your shoulders? How do I balance taking care of my kids, my parents, and still take care of myself? What about financial concerns and options? Are there programs out there to help with costs? How do we discuss end of life options? There are so many conversations. I hope to open up with this podcast, and my goal in creating this space is that we will all have a compassionate and informative spot where we can learn, grow, and navigate this process with confidence together. I am so honored to join and walk beside each of you on this journey as we create the future of this podcast together. I invite you to join us in episode 2, in which we continue our conversation about the vision and goal of this podcast. I'm excited to introduce you to the owners of Dharma Healthcare Management, who they are, what is their why, their values, and their vision for this podcast. We will share our professional experience and personal stories about why we care deeply about this topic. Thank you for joining us for our very first episode of Hey Mom, We Never Prepared for This. I invite you all to continue bravely discussing the topics that we didn't prepare for. Thanks for tuning in to Hey Mom, We Never Prepared for This. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to subscribe and leave a review. It really helps us reach more adult children and their aging parents and loved ones. Special thanks to our sponsor, Dharma Healthcare Management, for supporting the show. Stay tuned for more honest conversations to help you find peace, clarity, and community with others who understand what you're going through. And we'll see you next time on Hey Mom, We Never Prepared for This.